Soul Creatures is a Minnesota Partnership production, a co-production of Home for Life and Twin Cities Public Television. Additional funding has been provided by the Delonnays Foundation.
Compassion, that gentle touch. Everyone needs to feel like they're loved. Animals need to feel like they're loved. Animals are very special, they're very smart, they understand more than what we give them credit for.
They are thinking beings, they are feeling beings, they definitely have emotions.
They're just great companions. They give you a sense of excitement and energy and playfulness.
For us, he brought a lot of love with him because he's a very loving guy.
A lot of times in this society we live in that animals are not heard, but animals have a lot of things to say.
They really do contribute to our physical well-being, our mental well-being, and they deserve an opportunity too.
Today is about 32 degrees and 8 inches of snow. And so it's beautiful out here. We're on 40 acres. On a day like this, the animals love to get out. It's pretty much perfect exercise weather for the dogs because they've got the snow cover, which is a great cushion to run and bounce and play, and it's cool, not too hot, not too cold. I'm Lisa Laverdiere, the founder and executive director of Home for Life, and we are at Home for Life in Star Prairie, Wisconsin. We are a Care for Life animal sanctuary, so we take care of animals with special needs who have been unable to find homes and give them a home for life. The star of the show is Kitchi. She just had surgery at the U about 8 weeks ago, and she's recovering, so we're going to carry her, but then let her join her group. It's very important for dogs to be together. So Kitchi is just about 1.5 years, and she's the leader of this group, interestingly, even though she's the youngest. And she is a little Alsatian, which is like a small German Shepherd. She came from Saudi Arabia in the city of Jeddah, and when she was about 6 months old, whoever had her threw her out into the street in Jeddah, and a group of boys found her there, and they threw her out in the street and really abandoned her. The boys ended up surrounding her and were really in the process of stoning her to death. A Good Samaritan came upon the scene and chased the boys off, and at that point Kitchi was nearly dead. She was unconscious, and the guy raced her to a vet in Jeddah, and the vet saved her life. So the vet gave her a name, gave her a place to stay. It was a pretty crude accommodations, but at least she was safe. Her case came to the attention of a dog rescue group in Dubai.
Come here, Kitch. Get the gate.
What they discovered after they brought her to Dubai was that she had some deformity in her legs, but it was never established when she was there, the extent of it or what had caused it. And I think the assumption by everybody was that the stoning had caused the problems that Kitschy was demonstrating walking.
Oh, good girl.
Through all the social media efforts, they found out about Home for Life, so that's really remarkable that this place in Dubai found out about Home for Life here in Star Prairie, Wisconsin. We got her here and we took the time to observe her for a few weeks, and it was really apparent she was in a lot of pain trying to move. And yet, here's this dog that's not even a year old, and she wants to be like other puppies and play and interact with other dogs, and so it was really hard. She's always going to be fragile and vulnerable because of her physical limitations, but she may be able to develop a role as a therapy dog, doing outreach with some of the at-risk groups we work with, and especially some of the at-risk children that we work with who have been exposed to violence.
The animals usually arrive between like 6:30 and 7 o'clock, and they usually stay for about an hour. The kids can just take them for a walk, not outside the building, but inside. Or they just might play with them with a ball, or just pet them and just kind of have that connection face to face.
This is Celeste. She was born with no eyes, at least that's what I understand. She's very sweet, she sheds a lot, and the kids here seem to like her. She's very, very calm, gentle, purrs a lot, so she's a favorite when she comes here, which is often.
I wasn't raised with animals, so it's therapeutic for me and my family.
Tubman is a nonprofit organization who helps women and children flee from a domestic situation. The animals themselves just want somebody just to be there for them. They want somebody to take care of them. And it's the same with the child or the mom. They want somebody who's gonna show them that, you're safe.
I find it amazing because, these animals have been deemed unadoptable and come from really bad situations and stuff, and yet so many of them are now turning around and giving back.
For this program to exist, and knowing that, we do have families who have animals who are in this situation, it's remarkable in a way because we can still give those animals a purpose.
It was really apparent she was in a lot of pain trying to move.
The door for you. Come on, Kitty. Come on, Kitty. Good girl. Kitty. That's my girl.
So I arranged for her to be seen at the University of Minnesota and the orthopedic department evaluator, and that was the first time we really found out what the problems were.
This leg used to be almost upside down. Was almost like this.
They both were
the form. Her foot should be like that. You should see. Hi.
What we talked to the university orthopedic department about was doing some reconstructive surgery.
Are we going to radiology?
And it was very challenging. They felt it was a very challenging case. They weren't sure they were going to be able to improve her quality of life, but they agreed to try, and they wanted to do one leg at a time.
Cases like this are tough. They require out-of-the-box thinking.
In January, she did undergo surgery, and it was a lengthy surgery and a tough surgery.
We're trying to give them an opportunity to get around so they can live a happy life and an independent life.
Knock, knock. Hello. Hi. This is Cedric.
Cedric is a retired show dog. I think the male owner got cancer, and so Home for Life has a program where they take in animals and then the owners know that they have a home for life. So that's why Cedric is there.
He's just a gentle guy. That's the way I would describe him. He's an older, gentle guy. He's 12 and a half now, and we got him when he was 6 and a half. And we got him through animal rescue.
As wonderful as he was and as many years as we had with him, it was important for us to be able to acknowledge when we couldn't do it anymore.
I had some surgery, and I was having a hard time recovering from it. That prevented us from keeping him at home anymore, and we just moved here from Maine, so the combination of those things was a tremendous burden that we couldn't carry on anymore because we wanted him to be safe.
Well, I think just like these dogs are special needs dogs, so they've had issues in their lives. And so here we've got kids in wheelchairs or braces, so they've got issues, and I think maybe if they can just kind of identify that the dog has struggles too.
It probably feels good in here to them.
We were excited and thrilled for him because we know he could help a lot of people and bring a lot of happiness to people, and we thought that was really wonderful.
It's wonderful to see him. It's wonderful to see that he's very still content and happy here, and so we feel good when we see him.
As mellow as a marshmallow. I mean, yeah, his feathers just do not ruffle. Yeah, he's just a real sweetheart. And he's a trooper. He's an older dog to be doing this, and I think he represents Home for Life, and he does a nice job.
She likes to kiss little girls.
I think people just like looking at her because she's sort of like a comic book character come to life. And so it's just funny just to look at her and watch her, and she walk into the room, and many times if a patient allows her, she'll jump up on the bed, and she's 120 pounds of Great Dane, and she'll just jump up on a bed and cuddle up there just like a little 5-pound dog.
At first I was unsure if kids would be scared of her. She's ginormous. But the best reaction was just seeing kids smile. And they're fascinated by the size. And they're like, wait, what is this dog doing in the hospital? And so it kind of just jogs their imagination and curiosity.
When you're in the hospital, you're taking away from so much of what is normal, and when you have a moment of laughter and joy and that moment of interacting with an animal, there's this innate healing that can happen because of the laughter and your thoughts about your illness, and you just all go to the wayside and just stop, and you can just all of a sudden click into just being a kid.
We're way too much of a disposable society where if something doesn't work, we throw it out. If an animal is sick, we get rid of it. And now those same animals are turning around, and they're visiting hospitals, and they're visiting people in nursing homes, and just visiting these patients and bringing them some happiness.
How are you? She really loves it there.
Yeah, she's
I
doing
mean,
so
because
well.
she started to get, from the first time we saw Lisa, she had been bit by Kitschy.
Yes, that's right. We had it was like a wild horse trying to get her out of the car.
This is a side view of her tibia, but a front view of her foot. So she was sideways and backwards, and what we did was rotate this quite a bit and then plate it in that normal standing position.
Those are all the screws.
Yeah, and that's the screws in the plate. And hopefully those stay on forever. So her plates look good, her screws look good, there's no sign of infection there, and there is good healing. There's still a teeny bit to go, and so now with Kitschy, we can actually let her do more. Okay. So we can actually, where we've been very restrictive on her activity, now I would say that she could go out and actually have some even off-leash activity. I mean, she's done very well, and she's very used to being handled. She's calm. I mean, her respiratory rate is calm, her eyes aren't dilated. I mean, she's She just feels safer now. Some of it can be pain, but I think it's TLC. I think it's tender, loving care, and she's gotten used to some care that she never had before.
Okay, let's go. I'm Tania Bailey, and I've been involved in animal-based activities and therapies and education for over 20 years. That's a good girl. I don't believe in over 20 years of practicing have ever had a traditional office. These animals that I work with and the animals that Home for Life has, they're so in the present moment, and their world is right now. Most people don't want to see a therapist, but they are certainly a lot more motivated if I say, you know, I happen to work and my partners in therapy are horses or chickens or dogs or llamas or goats. Then I tend to get a few more takers. You know, then I tend both, not only the children I work with, but their family members are a lot more interested in coming and talking about how the issues in their household are really dragging them down. Animals are an equalizer, and they're a way of having some of these tough conversations that we otherwise shy away from.
Hospice is end-of-life care. It's care for people who are in their last months of life, there isn't a cure for what's happening right now. And when we come in, we really say, this is a time where we're bringing hope back into your life.
How are you doing? Pretty good? Lunch is over.
Sometimes the animals really are the icebreakers. You come in and the patient might not be having a particularly good day, and just by seeing the animal, I mean, most people have a hard time not feeling uplifted in their mood when they see the dog, and just seeing that unconditional attention.
Harry's a reliable guy.
For some patients, it's a really nice visit, and it brings joy, and for others who really, really love animals, you can just see, and it's joy for the rest of the day.
One thing you never took a dog with you on the road, did you?
First person we visited was Jack, and he suffers from Parkinson's. So I've been seeing him for about 8 weeks now, and every visit it's very up and down. It's just typical of his disease process. He has good days and he has bad days. And last week when I was here, he was absolutely able to speak. He has a very, very quiet voice, but last week I was able to hear him.
It's nice for us to be able to help him physically, but even more so to give him that time. It takes him a while to be able to get his words out, and it's really important for him, I think, and for us, that we can slow down and give him that time so that he can talk and communicate and joke and be Jack.
So what do you think of Harry?
He just loves company and companionship. So I know what these visits mean to him. Even if he's not able to participate as much as he would like, he still appreciates just having someone coming and spending time with him.
Look at that little guy.
I'm a firm believer that we do benefit from having companion animals in our lives. I mean, I think they really do contribute to our physical well-being, our mental well-being, and they deserve an opportunity too. They might not be perfect, but you know, maybe with just a little polishing of the rough edges, they also can be valuable members of the community. So that's why I think it's important that Home for Life is doing this and showing people that, yeah, compassion, that's what life is all about.
this type of setting, what she's doing out here is very unique, all right? But it combines a couple different things. You're dealing with each individual pet. At the same time, it's a shelter type environment too, with 300 pets. So you have to combine shelter medicine as well as the individual care. Harry! Lisa's very good at if each individual animal will get the specific treatment that they need. If that means going to the U for surgery or for additional diagnostics, she's ready to do that.
When a new animal comes here, I think they take their cues from us and from the other animals. One thing they notice about us is that we're very welcoming of them and we're very relaxed around them. I think, the staff knows and believes in our mission and knows that the animals will be safe and happy here, and the animals pick up on that. They really are so empathetic.
Good. Oh. Kitty. Good girl.
One of the things that our Indian people, our young children are always taught, how the circle of life, we're all attached to it. We're all as one. And we teach our children that ever since we're children, our parents teach us how we should respect all creation. Just like human beings, we have ceremonies. We have a place that we all go to after we leave here, and so do the animals, and that is what I do, is help them to release so they can go to where they're supposed to go after their life has ended here. So every year they have what they call a memorial garden. Throughout the year, there are animals that come there that are sick and they're very in need of a lot of love and caring for. I do a prayer for them, and I talk to the supporters and the sponsors that come there. They're just finally finding out that animals heal so much. They're going into hospitals, they're going into rest homes, they're going into various different places where people need help, and they're healing them.
You can't have an attitude of being vindictive or having, a vengeful attitude against people who have done an animal wrong and been so cruel. But I guess my way of trying to make things right is to give them a great life and to make sure that they're going to be happy again and that they're going to be safe and they're never, ever going to be at risk like that again.
Do you need help getting Frankie in?
I hope that Kitchi will be able to join our therapy dog corps eventually.
Watch your head, Kitchi. Watch your head.
Hearing her story and seeing how she's overcome difficulties and is forgiving and still has the capacity for happiness. I think her potential is unlimited now that she's happy and pain-free.
Soul Creatures is a Minnesota Partnership production, a co-production of Home for Life and Twin Cities Public Television. Additional funding has been provided by the Delonnays Foundation.